red suit stops by your house and tips over. So we hope that all goes well for your family. Tonight we'll have an invocation from Councilmember Millsap and a pledge by Councilmember Jensen. And we'll go to that part of the program. So,
our dear Father in heaven, we are thankful to be gathered here as people who care about this city. And we are especially thankful this time of season for all the material abundance that we enjoy here in Springville. And we ask that you can open our hearts so that we can share that abundance with those who have less than us. We ask that you will guide us to find the ways that we can help those in need. And this we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
We could stand and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated.
Okay, I need an approval of the meeting's agenda as printed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Well, we'd like to welcome any students who are here, or also scouts who are here. We appreciate you being here, and we always welcome you to be here and kind of learn a little bit about the process of governing ourselves. So we're grateful for your attendance here. We usually invite you up here on the stand so that you can come sit with us and look at the audience. And lots of them come up because we have candy up here. And tonight we have lots of candy. So if there's anybody who would like to come up, you're welcome to come up and sit on the rostrum with us to kind of see from our point of view. So anyone wanting to do that? Okay, I don't ask the adults because they definitely won't do it. They're worried that they didn't do their hair right or something. So
This young lady in the black shirt and the pink pants was really considering it. I saw her looking there to her side, wondering, should I or should I not?
you want to come up? Sure,
Come on up.
there we go. We love it. There we go. Okay, we've even got a special chair for you, so that's super.
Let's see.
And it can't be better than sitting next to Councilmember Smith. So
There we go. Trying to get it to go down for you.
it's great. See, what, is there candy there or what, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah. I told you, you missed your chance. Okay, that's great. Okay, she'll be on a sugar high for a few days, that's for sure. Wonderful. Well, we have ceremonial. Jessica, we'll take a moment and we'll have your Community Health and Wellness Resource Coordinator. So we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for having me. Mayor Packard and Council, thank you for having us tonight. We're here to recognize some of the outstanding youth that we have in Springville. My name is Jessica Maxwell. I work at the library as the Community Health and Wellness Resource Coordinator. Tonight we have 3 youth to recognize, and we will start with Ella Martin. All right, Ella was nominated by Jane Stay. She is a senior at Springville High School, and Ella was a dedicated soccer player for many years until she tore her ACL in early 2024. However, she worked hard to recover and started the 2024-2025 soccer season with high hopes. Tragically, she tore her ligament again in just the early weeks of the season. While many would be bitter about this, Ella has never been anything but cheerful and encouraging. Despite moving multiple times, including most recently in summer 2023, Ella quickly makes friends through her sunny personality. In her local church congregation, she has led a group of other girls 15 to 18 years old for 14 months in doing service and helping one another through life's challenges. Ella is always willing to do difficult assignments that other youth might avoid. And she helps other girls feel comfortable and capable, especially at a camping retreat near Heber this last summer. Ella would show up at activities even when she couldn't actively participate because of her leg, like human foosball, to cheer on others and help them feel welcome. Ella is also a fantastic example and help for her 3 younger brothers and has worked hard to save money while going through high school. All of us who know her in the neighborhood trust her to fulfill any responsibility with dedication and optimism. Tonight, we recognize Ella for her resiliency and service to those around her. Perfect. Next, we are going to, let's actually recognize Ella Young next. Ella, if you'll come up. We have two Ellas. I was just talking to another Jessica back there that Ella must be the name for this generation. Ella Young was nominated by her neighbor, Marty Joe, by the way. Ella is in 10th grade at Springville High School, where she is also on the cross-country team that won the state championship this year. Congratulations. She is observant, kind, brave, and smart. Ella demonstrates her strong work ethic, resilience, and discipline through her consistent training and dedication to her personal goals and the collective success of her team. She also demonstrates great compassion by the way she helps others at church, school, and on her team. Ella is truly a friend to all. She notices those who are in need of a friend and will sit by them, talk to them, encourage, and include them. She consistently serves those around her. Ella is a positive influence by the example she sets of following and sharing her beliefs. She does so in a way that encourages others to do their best and experience their own personal growth. She consistently makes those around her feel seen and valued. We recognize Ella for her great example of leadership, friendship, and for being a positive example of perseverance. And then if you'll just step to the side. Did Lavaka come in? Okay, our third youth wasn't able to make it tonight, so we will save him for another night. So if you'd like to come down, Mayor, and we'll take some photos. Okay, come on over. Mayor, do you want to stand between the girls?
You bet.
Oh, over there? And, yep, okay.
Where would you like us? Right over here? Okay.
Okay, we can do it.
She's the photo queen.
Good job, Ella. Oh, both Ellas.
Both Ellas. Yes, thank you.
We have the best youth. Really, really proud of them and all that they do. So thank you very much. Well, with this recent elections, one of our council members is going to retire, Craig Jensen, who has been with us for the past 8 years. And Kim is going to have a presentation. So Kim, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight is truly an honor to recognize and congratulate Councilmember Craig Jensen, whose service from 2018 through 2025 has left a lasting and visible mark on the city. 8 years on the council is no small commitment. It requires countless hours of meetings, preparation, community conversations, tough votes, and perhaps most importantly, patience. And through it all, Councilmember Jensen has shown steady leadership, thoughtful decision-making, and a deep love for the community. So this was back in 2018. Your family. And anyone who knows Craig knows two things right away. First, he is rarely far from a Diet Coke, arguably the unofficial fuel of municipal government. I agree. And second, if you hand Councilmember Jensen a bag of Skittles or M&Ms, don't expect him to eat them right away. They will be sorted by color, carefully aligned, and probably charted into a perfectly organized graph pattern before a single one disappears. During Councilmember Jensen's time on the council, the city experienced tremendous growth, planning, and transformation. Craig helped encourage major planning efforts, including the Active Transportation Plan, Reframing Downtown, the Dry Creek Community Plan, the Westfield Central Neighborhood Plan, and the Main Street South Gateway Plan, including the important work on the Allens Block Code and planning. He supported thoughtful development and projects such as Smith's Marketplace, Lakeside Landing, Special District Overlay, and the 2025 Buc-ee's project, all while keeping long-term community impact front and center. Councilmember Jensen played a key role in the updates of every capital facilities master plan, including utilities and streets, as well as advancing the Parks, Recreation, and Trails master plan, ensuring our infrastructure and public spaces are prepared not just for today, but for generations to come. Craig's enthusiasm for arts and culture helped move forward the public art master plan. Lost my place. Ensuring our infrastructure and public spaces are prepared not just for today, but for generations to come. Craig's enthusiasm for arts and culture helped move forward the Public Art Master Plan, establish the Capital Public Art Fund, and support milestones like the McWayne Arts Park Amphitheater, a major gift and gallery naming in honor of Carol Ford at the museum, Festival Street, and continued investment in creative placemaking throughout the city. Councilmember Jensen was also engaged in reshaping how the city operates internally, supporting a restructured budget process, department reorganization, and creation of the Internal Services Department. Changes that may not always make headlines, but have lasting impacts on efficiency and accountability. Councilmember Jensen served during moments of celebration and moments of challenge. He was here when the City Springs logo was adopted and when the city made the strategic decision to divest the airport in 2018. He helped lead through the unprecedented challenges of COVID-19 in 2020, navigating electronic meetings and ensuring the city continued to function transparently and effectively during uncertain times. Now we are on YouTube all the time. Councilmember Jensen also contributed by serving on the Utility Power Board, advocating for the Whitehead Power Plant expansion, and several public works water projects. He supported key funding tools like the PAR tax, which continues to benefit our community in meaningful ways, regionally and beyond. He worked with SUVPS, the Solid Waste District, and the Utah Lake Authority. Major capital and community projects advanced during his tenure, including the 100 South Riverwalk project, Cherry Ridge Bike Park, and the new Springville High School development. Projects that will serve residents for decades to come. Through all of this, he brought consistency, preparation, and a calm, thoughtful voice to the council table. He asked hard questions, listened carefully, and always came back to what was best for the community. So tonight we want to say thank you for the years of service, for the leadership, for the dedication, and yes, for reminding us all that sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to organize it, preferably by color.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Do you want to present?
Yes, you want to just bring it over here, yeah. So I first was introduced to Craig back when I think you were 14 or 15, if I remember right, and he has been a bundle of energy ever since. And I had the chance to have him in our neighborhood for a number of years. He and his sweet wife Susan. I'm so grateful to Craig for what he's been able to bring, not only to just his everyday life, but also to the city council. Few of you know how deeply candid and honest he is. what you see is what you get. And it's a rarity in our society that you have people who are loving and kind and direct and are able to not take offense toward it. Craig and I have disagreed on a number of issues, but we've never felt it personal in any possible way. He's just been so gracious and kind about through the whole process. It's a real great trait that more of our citizens, more of our society really needs to do. And so I pay great tribute to Craig, and I've sat next to him now for the last couple of years, and he truly does sort his M&Ms and Skittles. And it's like OCD, and I'm OCD, and so I'm over here going, that doesn't line up. You need to get the S's lined up now. But we just want to pay particular honor to Craig and to let him know how much we love and respect him and give him this plaque in honor of his service here with the city. So, Craig. You want to say any words or anything?
You know, I'd be amiss if I didn't just thank the team. I mean, it's been, you know, from the time that, you know, Mayor Child and he became mayor at the same time I jumped on council, and what a great leader he was and is, as well as now serving with Matt. Matt's right, we haven't always seen eye to eye, but boy, I tell you what, I've come to love and respect not just Matt, but all of the members that have come and gone on city council. I commend our community for the spirit of volunteerism, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to give and to receive. I mean, there's people that serve one another in our community that is amazing, and one of the reasons it works is because we have the people that sit here on the stand that really care about community, not just growth or certain, you know, aspects that are on our personal agendas, but I think we care about community and we care about our neighbors and friends and the environment we grow up in. So thank you to you all, and I hope we aren't strangers. I look forward to seeing you around, and big shout out to the staff. I think we come and go. There's people up on the stand, but there's some people in these seats that have stuck around, and they've had better job offers and they haven't taken them, and I appreciate them sticking around. So thank you all, and we'll be around.
Wonderful. I don't want to make too big of a deal of this, but Craig mentions that we don't always agree. I don't always agree with anybody up on the stand. And I was with some mayors this morning where we were sitting and talking, and I was asking them some questions. And they were reflecting on some of the experiences they have with some of their council people and how very difficult it is for them to navigate through some very difficult people, personalities, and problems. That they not only disagree, but they are very disagreeable. And I've just never found that to be the case. And I've worked with lots of the people up here for either 4 years or for 6 years. Is that right? 6 years? Yeah. And never, ever, ever have I felt that it's a personal thing at all. And it's just a great credit to the people who sit here. And it's I have a mayor friend up in the north end of the state, and he finally quit being mayor because he says, I can't handle working with the city council. They're so difficult to work with and so personal about everything. And in my head I'm going, we just have never had that on our city council, and that's a real credit to it. So I just pay tribute along with Craig. We're going to miss you, and you're not as pretty as Karen, but you know. We'll be able to enjoy you. Hope you enjoy some time with Susan and whatnot. So thank you. Okay, we have some public comments. We've got Caroline Collette. Is that right? Okay, you're welcome to come up and take 3 or 4 minutes with us. And
hello, I'm Caroline Collette, and I'm really glad that we talked about the development of the Dry Creek area, because that's where I live, and I love the way that we've developed it. I live in the Calvin Grove neighborhood, some of the buildings that were built in about 2002. I'm a resident, I'm a teacher, I'm a parent, and I am a foster parent as well. And I care deeply about the children in our community. I want Springville to continue to build housing on a variety of types close together. Living in the Dry Creek area, I'm grateful that we have a mix of apartments, townhomes, single-family residences, and condominiums, and I've been blessed to be able to see that development in my community and see people coming together, both in my church congregation and in the schools that my children attend and will attend as they get older. I know that this kind of mixed zoning, where single-family homes and higher density housing are zoned together, leads to better educational outcomes for our kids because they're sharing schools with families who have a variety of different careers and skills. There are more than 100 studies and even experiments that have shown that when low-income families are able to attend schools and share neighborhoods with higher-income families, educational outcomes improve, as do mental and physical health outcomes, and the income that those lower-income children earn when they become adults is higher in the long run. And I brought several citations that you can check me on, and there's hundreds more. Research also shows that economically integrated communities have lower rates of unemployment and crime than communities that force the production of slums by concentrating poverty. I do not ask you to subsidize high-density housing, but I do ask you to continue to provide zoning that allows it and let the free market do the rest. Residential zoning that allows for a variety of housing types side by side decreases societal division among different groups in our town who, if they're forced by zoning laws to be segregated, will not interact with one another and will not benefit from each other's economic output or resources. A grocery store in a wealthy neighborhood is staffed by teenage employees who use income for discretionary spending, which is fine. A grocery store in a neighborhood with only low-income families struggles to keep its doors open, and a grocery store in an economically diverse neighborhood prospers while providing employment to people who want to work and support their families while they develop the skills and experience to improve their situation. A school in a neighborhood where none of the parents have had the opportunity to attend college is a school that lacks the resources and skills to help the kids there go to college. And a school with only high-income families limits students' experiences and understanding to only a limited range of life experiences and perspective, without witnessing the needs or experiences of their community. An economically integrated school offers a range of experiences and perspectives while offering all of the opportunities that are available at a wealthier school. R1, or single-family only zoning, leads to higher housing and rent prices due to lower supply, higher rates of unemployment, poor educational outcomes, poor mental health and physical outcomes, and by consequence, higher rates of crime. As a parent, a teacher, and a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ, I hope that our community will choose to welcome the stranger, uplift the poor, and work to create a society where there are no poor among us, not because we tell the poor that they do not belong, but because we choose to extend paths of poverty, or out of poverty, to our neighbors. And so I'm thankful for the zoning that we've done recently, and I really hope that as we continue to progress and make room for more people, that we continue to do this mixed-use zoning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And yeah, this is the topic in every city in the state, and we're very much sensitive to it and trying to do exactly what you're talking about. The question comes in, and this is where quite the discussion is how much and where and how you mix those and create that opportunity. And everybody has an opinion, but at the end of the day, I think we're all in lockstep with what you're trying to accomplish there. So thank you. Appreciate your words. Do you want to do this now, or would you like to do it at a time when we're going to have a general discussion about the chicken situation? I'll leave it up to you. It's your call. Yes, we're going to have it in this meeting, but I know that you've got some added responsibilities there, and I just want to be sensitive to your situation. So, I'm happy to wait until. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll give you a chance, or have your husband give a chance to give his comments. So, okay, very good. All right, we're to the point of the consent agenda. Anything on the consent agenda that needs to have a discussion or question on? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then for approval of the consent agenda.
I motion that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Okay. Police Chief Haight? Did I miss? Okay, all right, sounds good. We'll move to the next one. Stacy, a resolution in regard to some property on some recreational trails.
Mayor,
Oh, yes.
we do have some small presentations from some interns. I think it's right above the
It's
Did I miss it?
It's number 5.
Number
It's right at the
5.
bottom.
Oh, I blew right on by it. My apology. Sorry. Thank you, John. Mr. Penrod.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We do have a couple of interns.
Great.
Every so often, we get interns from the high schools. This semester, we've had Brooklyn right here, and we've also had Lucas, and they are incredibly sharp. We always have good interns, but these two are the top of the bunch. And so Brooklyn's going to talk just a little bit about some traffic issues that she's been studying up on, and then Lucas is going to talk about some nuisance issues. And so if that's okay, we'll turn the time over to them. They're going to take,
Yep.
like I said, a few minutes each.
Bet.
Sorry, I don't know exactly where oh, it's right there. Okay, perfect.
All right, so as John said, I'm Brooklyn Johnson, and I've been interning this last semester here. And I've had a project just going through the traffic code, Title IX, and having a couple amendments or additions. There we go. So I have a basic, what does our code cover? We have an adoption of the state code with a couple modification, wow, my brain is already blanking. I'm sorry, I get anxious.
Well, I've already made the biggest mistake, and that is passing by you. So you just relax, and we're looking forward to this. So.
But yeah, we have adoption modifications, and then we have a couple of specific regulations from speed limits, skateboard parks, and handicap, and a lot more. And then we have our penalty of any violation of the section is a Class C misdemeanor, and we've repealed, but I don't know what that was. So the point of my presentation is I'm just going to be going over a few things that I've found and possible additions and amendments. So first I have unlawful transfer on a roadway. Subsection 5 says any person violating this subsection shall be guilty of a Class C misdemeanor. At the end of Title IX, we already have it written that everything violated is a Class C, so it just feels unnecessary, and we could remove it and make the code less long, I guess.
Wordy.
Yes. My second thing is handicap parking. In our code and the state code, it is the same mention with one addition on our side, if a little bit different wording. And so again, to avoid repetition, we can do something like, in addition to the state code, handicap parking shall also be lawful if a legal transferable card or license plate from another state is utilized. This, roundabouts, is something that I spent approximately a month on a rabbit hole with. So I feel very strongly that we are building more roundabouts and that people do not know how to use them. So I feel we should add some sort of code or how-to. Spanish Fork has a how-to on their website, and I think it's very good. But I have a possible code, and it's a lot to read. So I will let you guys just read that. All right, I also have a possible addition. Spanish Fork and Payson have adopted codes specifically for school property, Nebo School District, and I believe that would be a good idea. So I've just copied their code and inserted our city in place of Spanish Fork or Payson.
So with this code, basically would allow our police officers to charge any citation on school property?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not explain.
Where
that.
now
Sorry.
we can't do that, or they can't do that. Is that correct? Because it's private property.
It yes and no. It's just not as concise. I like what Brooklyn has found that Payson and Spanish Fork have done. I think it's a great ad.
Good.
All right, and then another thing is our code classifies any violations as a Class C misdemeanor. State code and multiple other cities have brought it down to just an infraction, and I feel that would serve us well. Anything that needs to be higher as Class C, Class B, Provo, I know has most everything as a Class B misdemeanor. We can write in the section itself, and at the end, instead of it saying Class C, we can write infraction instead.
So what's the difference between the classes and an infraction?
Infraction's technically not criminal, even though you go through the justice court. There's no jail time that can go with it or anything else. It's just a fine. Whereas a misdemeanor becomes more of a jail time violation. So you could have, like in a Class C misdemeanor, 90 days, a Class B, 180 days, and a Class A up to a year. And so most everything in state code has started to go more to infraction when it comes to violations with moving car violations. And so, again, what Brooklyn is suggesting, I think would be the right direction to go, would be my opinion.
All right, and that is all that I have for tonight. I understand some of my suggestions may contradict each other, so I leave it up to you guys to decide. And thank you for letting me present today.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
So with that presentation,
Yes.
sure, if you'd like to, just in case we have some questions. So with the presentation, we think I think these suggestions are very, very good. I don't know how the council feels. So,
Yeah, I'm good with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no brainer.
well, I think the direction then is she's the expert. I would get with her and let's write something up, however way we need to do it to make it official, the action.
We will. Her time is up, though, with us. So if
Make
she's
them
willing,
pay you now.
so we will pay her to come back and help us with that. So that'll be good.
Okay, sounds good. Very good. Brooklyn, thank you very
Thank
much. Okay.
All right. Hello. Good evening. My name is Lucas Da Silva, and I am presenting to you guys about nuisances. First off, how do nuisances affect our community? You guys already know this, but I'm just going to go over it. It causes health and safety hazards in our neighborhoods for other people, and let's say some kids are running around and they poke around in a neighborhood or in a backyard that they shouldn't be, and they could find some dangerous things in there. It can cause property value to go down. It can stretch out legal conflicts like it has in the past with our city, within our city and other cities. It can cause environmental damage to water and land quality, and it can diminish city reputation, and nobody wants a city like that. And sometimes, in some cases, people can become lenient on enforcing, when people enforce that authority on them. So some solutions to nuisances in our city are, right now our city code has a good solution for the penalty of having a nuisance is the voluntary compliance agreement, which is an agreement between the responsible person / owner of the property and the city, where they have to write a letter basically of how they're going to fix their nuisance property and how they're going to keep it maintained in a good condition. And if this responsible person / owner does not have this voluntary compliance agreement ready within the set amount of time, which is the completion date, then they will be fined $100 each day for the first week that the issue is unabated, and $200 every day thereafter, or imprisonment for up to 6 months. What other cities have done is earlier this year, Provo City passed an ordinance called the chronic nuisance ordinance, where if a nuisance has received 5 or more emergency calls within a 90-day period, or 10 or more emergency service calls within a 12-month period, then they will be deemed as a chronic nuisance, which basically just bumps them up a little bit, where they will have, similar to the voluntary compliance agreement, they have to come up with an action plan to fix their nuisance property and keep it maintained and submit that to the city or the officer that came up to them. And if failure to comply, they will have fines of $500 for 30 days and a fine of $750 for every day after that, or a criminal prosecution of a Class B misdemeanor. Denver City is another city that I looked at, and it was outside of Utah. That they're a little bit more lenient on their nuisance properties, where within the first 2 years, if they have their first violation, they will have a $500 fine, and second violation within 2 years, an $800 fine. A third violation within 2 years is a $999 fine, and more violations within that 2-year period will just be jail time. So solutions and other things that we can do in our city is we can pass new ordinances like the chronic nuisance ordinance that Provo City has passed, or enforce more voluntary compliance agreements for nuisance properties, or enhance the case to maybe bump it up a little bit so the responsible owner / person of the property will take it a little bit more seriously. And that is my presentation.
So I have a question for you, because I've been concerned about nuisance properties around town for quite some time. Mayor and I took a little tour the other day. It's difficult to recognize what a nuisance actually is and who reports that, how that gets, how the citation gets delivered, little in the weeds type things like that. Do you have any solutions for those? I mean, do neighbors report it? Do we have a nuisance officer that drives around town actively looking for these things? How do we handle that?
Yeah, so for nuisance on our city code, we have a bunch of different definitions for nuisance properties, such as drug houses or places with, I think I have it, with noxious emanations, or just things that can seem dangerous, and neighbors can call the city or a police officer or anything, and that would count as an emergency service call. It's about the specific nuisance property.
The problem I see is I think neighbors would be reticent to call because they don't want backlash from their neighbor. So I think that's kind of an issue that we have to deal with.
It is.
And how to deal with that, I think, is the big issue.
Yeah, and I think you could go any route you want to go as a council. Over the years, the council's been kind of up and down on how much they want enforcement of the nuisance code. But kind of like what Lucas is saying, there is neighbors, there's reporting within neighborhoods, but we also have a code enforcement officer that's coming on soon. We can have them out all the time enforcing. We could even have, I know over in Provo, they've even had a position where they have students kind of help come on and enforce over the years, where they're not necessarily doing the enforcing, but they're finding things to send the code enforcement out. So if it's something that is high priority for the council, there are a lot of different things we can do. And I think Lucas has done a good job at pointing out, once you find it, how you take care of it. But I think you have a good point that lots of times it's hard to find it, or nobody really wants to report it because of cultural, interactions on a regular basis.
Well, I think this presentation is great, and I think we need to be more proactive in the way we handle it. I don't know about how the rest of the council feels, but the feedback that I've had from residents around town is we need to be more proactive.
Definitely.
And we have a presentation specifically on that coming up early in the new year on the different councils we worked with over the years have kind of a different approach to nuisances, from very aggressive to even we've had councils that say, don't even look for nuisances, only respond to calls that have come in. So we need to find kind of where between those two posts you are as a council. We do have a full-time position that's currently vacant, and then we have our regular officers. The chief is also divided. We have 4 patrol units. He's divided the city into 4 quadrants and has assigned each patrol a quadrant of the city to do nuisance enforcement in, even above kind of a code enforcement officer when that position is filled. So I know the mayor is taking kind of what he's heard anecdotally seriously, and as part of that process, we'll be here to understand better exactly what you want to see done as a council.
Okay, good.
And if I could just stress one thing, I think Lucas has a great find in what Provo has gone to. I like this chronic nuisance approach. I think our approach is really good for a lot of people when it comes to voluntary agreements. The problem is sometimes people just don't want to volunteer to clean up their nuisance, and so it becomes more of a long-term problem. Whereas I like this code that Lucas has found because I think it's more direct and it takes care of the problem a lot quicker. So, good job.
Very good.
Other comments for Lucas?
I have a question, and this is for you and for Brooklyn. How did you guys choose which topics to research? Did you work with the city department trying to figure that out, or?
We were kind of just given the options of different projects to work on, and through some research, the nuisance project seemed most interesting.
That's the one that jumped out to you, and traffic for you as well. You seem pretty passionate about roundabouts too, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Wow, I'm impressed. Thank you very much. In fact, you've touched on 2 areas that I think we can use some help on and trying to strengthen and help with. There's not too many weeks that go by that I don't hear a comment about roundabouts, and this nuisance properties and whatnot is alive and well in Springville, and we've wrestled with this for over the last 6 months on best how to do this. So I think you've touched on 2 very, very good things. So thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to do it. Very meaningful for us. All I would ask is that since you're not now interns, that maybe as your contact person, John, just stick with him as we work through the process of fine-tuning our ordinances and laws so that you can see the results of your work. I think that would be meaningful to you. So,
If I could point out too, Christina, who's in between the 2 of them, work with us, and she does a great job with the interns. She's really helped the program a lot.
very good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well done. Okay. Now we'll move to number 6. Chief Haight.
This is a follow-up to earlier discussions in a work session. We're going to talk about, don't do that. Okay, here to talk about chicken ordinances in Springville. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Right.
This is from a children's book, Clucky the Brave Police Chicken. I was inspired by it.
I think it's the 4-story buildings that are causing the problem, actually.
Okay, we have an existing chicken ordinance in the animal section. It allows, what's happening here? The verbiage is subject to the requirements in this chapter and any other applicable provisions of Title 11. Hen chickens and the number set forth below may be kept on a allotted parcel of land in any residential zone. And then there's a carve out. For lots 20,000 square feet in size or larger, the provisions set forth in Title 11, Chapters 3 and 4 for fowl apply. For all smaller lots, the following applies. So for all residential lots smaller than 20,000 square feet, which is about half an acre, right? The maximum allowable number of chickens is 6.
But here's this carve out in light blue that says for lots bigger than 20,000 square feet, go to Title 11, Chapters 3 and 4. Regardless, there's no roosters allowed. Continuing on in this same section, the principal use of the allotted parcel may be for a single-family dwelling, duplex, or twin home. Chickens may be kept on a non-nuisance basis, strictly for familial gain, from the production and consumption of eggs only, and there shall be no sale or income resulting from the keeping of chickens. So there seems to be this general thought, the intent of legislation is for, in residential zones, enough chickens just for personal use. So if we go to section 11, remember the light blue carve out sent us to section 11. It talks about the agricultural zones, A1 and R115. It talks about animal units. The number of animals kept on any allotted parcel shall not exceed 1 animal unit for each 10,000 square feet of area. Further down in the section, it talks about an animal unit for chickens. For fowl, small livestock, chickens, an animal unit is 12. So if we follow this along, if we were to go back to section 3, where it says if you have more than 20,000 square feet, go to section 11. Section 11 says 12 chickens per 10,000 square feet. So if we're under the assumption that you got this half acre, 20,000 square foot lot, and if you go to this section, then this section would seem to imply you could have up to 24 chickens on a half acre lot. So there's been a case that's gone to the judge, and the judge, as he interprets this section strictly, he says, well, it does point to that section, but you're not in an agricultural zone. So strictly, according to the strict reading of the law, he sees that there's no allowable fowls under those circumstances. So it's clear that there's some confusion in the language, and so we definitely want to clear up the language, if nothing else.
So if you have 20,000, you can have none?
That was the strict interpretation of the law by the judge.
Well, you could still have the 6.
And you still have 6? That's my question.
Okay.
Or none.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't at the hearing, but looking at this, any residential zone, you could have 6 as long as it meets the requirements that set forth, which weren't put up here. But if I understand correctly, no roosters anywhere.
Correct. Yep. So the recommendation from community development would be just to strike, going back to section 3, just to strike that last paragraph and just leave it at, for all residential zones, regardless of lot size, to make it more clear, just limit to 6 chickens only. So that's the recommendation from community development. I didn't want to come to you with proposed ordinance change until I got some feedback from you. We can leave it at that, just 6 only. You could have some deviation from that. So I wanted to bring in what everybody else is doing. Spanish Fork, you can have up to 6 chickens. The lot must be at least 5,000 square feet, no roosters. Santa Quinn, up to 5 chickens. Lot must be 14,375 square feet. So Provo, depends on the size of the lot, anywhere from 6 to 2 chickens, depending on the size. You can see the Orem for a 30,000 square feet lot, up to 12, and it goes down from there. Pleasant Grove, up to 4 chickens in a residential zone. Lehigh City for agricultural zones, it looks like. I don't know what their different zones are, but a maximum of 4 or 8 per half acre, depending on the zone. And then Linden's way out there, they're outliers. You go to Linden, you can have up to 50 chickens, as long as you've got 5 square feet minimum enclosure per chicken, and 1 rooster per every 7 hens.
Could be a noisy neighborhood.
So I just come to you tonight with the recommendation that we do make a change to the ordinance, because it does seem to be confusing. So we either strike that language to limit it just to all residential zones, regardless of lot size, only 6, or you can make it some other scale or something that you'd like.
Okay, questions for the chief?
So, residential zones, all residential zones. But wasn't one of those in Title 11 a residential zone, R115? Was zoned
Yes,
also agricultural?
That's correct, yes.
So even If you're zoned agricultural, you're an R115, you can only have 6 chickens?
No, R115 allows for animals to be kept, animal units, just like in agricultural. R115, in that zone, you have to have at least a 15,000 square foot lot. You don't get to an animal unit until you get to 20,000 square feet. So even in the R115 zone, you still have to have a pretty sizable lot in order to have animals on the lot. And there's a bunch of restrictions as well, like where those animals have to be away from other property lines and other houses and things like that. And so it's not just simple, if you have 20,000 square feet, you get it. It's got to be 20,000 square feet dedicated to the animals with a bunch of different regulations.
Yeah. They're in 10,000 square foot units, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of rules.
Yeah, but you have to have 20,000 square feet
Right, to start.
do it.
Exactly.
To do it.
To have more chickens. You can have up in a 20,000, you can have, along with the other property regulations, you can have than 20 chickens.
As I read it, on a 20,000 square foot lot, you could have 18 chicken, I believe.
And I think what the chief is talking about is just standardizing it, if I've understood you right, to make it 6 chickens, no matter what the size of the lot.
No matter what the size.
Did I understand that right, or did I misunderstand?
It's still, from what has been presented, there is still Title 11 that still allows for chickens on R115 and agricultural lots. And so if the council wants to just limit it to 6 chickens in all residential zones, we would have to make some adjustments to Title 11 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be as easy as just striking.
No.
Okay.
So there's that confusion still exists.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless we change.
Because R115 is a residential zone.
Yeah, my mistake, you're right. So we could change the language from section 37801 to be very specific for all residential zones except for A1 or R115.
Well,
Yes.
we do want to do that because you can still have R115 and not be 20,000.
Correct.
That's correct.
So there's 2 things, zoning and the lot size. Those
Yeah.
are the 2 factors that we need to take into consideration.
And that is total lot size. That's not talking about how much square foot per chicken they have. I mean, you could have a house that takes up half that lot, and you
Well,
could still have that amount of chicken.
You could still have the 6 chickens, but what's you're not seeing here are the requirements for the chickens. There's requirements for the type of housing you have for the chickens, where it's located, things like that, just so that whatever comes with the chickens is not bothering the neighbors.
So I kind of like the concept of what Provo's done. I don't know that we need to follow that scale exactly, but I kind of like that scaled approach. I mean, we can have those discussions. I'd like to hear what this resident has to say about the.
We're getting there, so.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, any other questions for the chief?
How would your officers go about, I mean, you just pull it up on a parcel map if you got a complaint to be able to see how many chickens they have and how big the square footage is? I mean, how would they enforce that?
Our animal control officer and our code enforcement officer address those issues, and they do pull up the parcel map, see how big the lot size is. They see the zoning for the parcel and just see how the existing code matches that. So generally speaking, for any residential except for R115, it's limited to 6, but then we've got this confusion with the
Lot
Right.
size.
larger than 20,000 square feet.
Okay.
Well, I would be for, if you have a large enough lot and you can be R115 and have a large enough lot and still adhere to all the, I think that's fine. We just need to clear this up so that can happen.
So John probably knows way better than I do, but there's not a lot of R115 in the city.
There certain areas there are. Most of in the middle, especially Plat A, it's like R15, and then it kind of goes out to R18 and R110. But yes, there's less R115 than there is some of the others. So
Just something that would be really easy, and it's just a thought. It'd be nice to standardize it and just say every resident you get 6 chickens, whether your lot's this or this. It's no more than this, unless you're.
Not based off of lot size at all.
Not even based off lot size. Unless it's a very small lot and you wouldn't want to have a townhome with
Right,
but-
right. So lot size does come into factor even in the residential zones. It does.
Well, and I'll
It
push.
does
If
for
I had a
me.
townhome, I would want a chicken or two if there was space enough that I could do it cleanly.
And maybe so, maybe so. I'm just saying is that if you can standardize it, I think it makes it easier for the officer where you don't have to try to figure out how big's your lot and
Right.
that sort of thing. But
And,
anyway, just-
and with
yeah.
what's been said by Council Member Millsap, given the restrictions on how you can have chickens on your property, I don't know that a townhome would work. And so we might want to look at some of those restrictions too, if that's something that you're interested in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. We have a public comment. Did you want to, or did you want your husband to?
So my husband is on a call if he's able to speak.
He can, as long as you'll identify your husband.
Emily, do you need me or somebody to take your baby?
Or hold your
Are
phone.
you good?
Let me hold the phone. Or
You're doing good.
I can handle it for now.
Okay.
If he starts crying though, then yeah.
Okay.
Come grab him. Okay.
I don't know that I'd turn a child over to that guy.
Oh, come on. I successfully raised 4, so
Perfect.
Fifth we were.
Okay.
yeah, we're not talking about the 5th. Sorry.
So I was hoping to invite at some point, I would like to come more prepared. I checked the city council agenda last week and I didn't see this, and so I thought, okay, I'll go and talk, but anyways. So I would love to come to a work session and share a little bit more about my research on chickens. But for now, I did want to clarify, the judge, it was in response to a motion to dismiss, and so the judge is supposed to err on the side of the prosecutor shortly for that. With my, I have some legal expertise, mostly from sitting in courtrooms. So he said a strict reading of this law could say that there are no chickens. Conversely, because it didn't apply, but to me, it could also mean that there's no legal limit on chickens. You know, it could mean there's no limit at all. It could mean you can't even have the 6. But he was saying that a strict reading of the law could mean absolutely no chickens for lots over 20,000 square feet. And then I also wanted to share that I think there is definitely value to more than 6 chickens in residential areas when there's space for it. And I think 20,000 square feet is definitely, having had more than 6 chickens on 20,000 square feet. And we have an empty 20,000 square foot lot that's in an R18 zone for some reason. And so that is all space for chickens. And I think that there's a lot of benefit. It abuts to a park, and I have seen so many people coming to see our chickens at the park. It reminds me when I was little, walking to the elementary school, we'd pass an emu farm, and that was just the highlight of our walks, was to go see the emu farm. And I know so many people, the highlight of their walks is to come see our chickens, and there's a difference when it's 6 backyard chickens to more of a homesteading flock, like I would say we have. And I did want to say it would be, I agree that it would be more difficult for officers to address if it were lot specific. A lot of this started, our response to the officer was, oh, our lot is 20,000 square feet when he first stopped by. And we were charged with having more than 6 chickens on a lot under 20,000 square feet, despite that a distinct element in that code is missing. So that's surprised me that those were not dismissed immediately, but we're still working through that. But it still says we're charged with having 6 chickens on a lot that is smaller than 20,000 square feet. I'm going to turn this time, Michael, this is my husband, Michael. Do you want to test and see if they can hear you?
Yeah, we can hear if you put it up to the mic. If you wouldn't mind taking about 3 minutes, that would be wonderful.
Yes, it has been quite the ordeal. This started October of last year, and we have been told all kinds of conflicting information by members of the city government, including a several months long discussion on whether the word lot in the second sentence of the chicken law applies to our property, which At first it was, oh, you don't get the provisions of Title 11 because you have a parcel, not a lot. And then once we said, oh, but if the word lot doesn't apply in the second sentence, which gives us benefits, then it can't apply in the third sentence, which restricts us to 6 chickens and no rooster. At which point the prosecutor, the attorney, changed his mind and decided that lot and parcel didn't matter anymore. But it's just been 14 months of moving goalposts, and we purchased our home in Springville. We looked up the chicken laws in Linden, Pleasant Grove, Saratoga Springs, Provo, Salem. Like, we looked up chicken laws everywhere, and we chose this lot in Springville because it was over 20,000 square feet, and because the chicken law said that provisions on fowl applied to lots this size. And it feels like the city has already concluded what it wants to in this court case that we're in, even though it has to continually wrestle with the wording of the law throughout the whole experience. We're also disappointed that we were informed that we would be told of this discussion ahead of time, and we received no such notice that this was going to take place this day. So,
that it?
We are quite frustrated with Springville right now.
Anything else, Michael?
No.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just wanted to thank you for listening. When I came last time, you listened, and I'm glad you're taking some steps, because it's a confusing law that's caused us a lot of grief. So,
how many chickens do you have?
I would argue that we have suffered far more than whoever is complaining about our lot.
So, the complaints that we have received are based on a rooster, and we have held on to this rooster because he is a quiet rooster. And when we read the law, we see that the paragraph 2 is part of the for all smaller lots. And so we've held on to this rooster partially because we hope that if the outcome is that we can have roosters, we'd love to keep the quiet rooster, because we can't hear him from inside our house. But there have been anonymous complaints that have started it. We do have, as we read the law, we have about 32,000 square feet, and so we read that would mean about 3 animal units and 36.
I think her question was, how many chickens do you have?
How many chickens do we have? We have some younger ones that are under 6 months, so we have a little bit more than 36 right now. As they're hitting 6 months, we're going to get rid of the older chickens. But so that's 36 birds is what we believe we're allowed to have based on the law, and so that's what we've.
The animal unit definition says that animals under 6 months old do not count toward the animal unit.
So we
Okay.
do have a few more this weekend.
All right. Well, I think we all agree that there's a lot of misunderstanding in this sort of thing. So we appreciate your comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, sounds good. Where do you want to take this, Mr. Penrod? And Lance, or Chief 8, sorry.
It might be good to come back, as been suggested, in a work session with some ideas and with some actual language, so you can discuss it, so the property owners can see it, and a few things that way.
Okay.
We've looked at a number of different ordinances tonight on what other cities allow, what they don't allow. I think one of the biggest things, and I think our ordinance is pretty clear, is just the roosters. There's a lot of cities that don't allow roosters, and I think ours says several places, and I'll have to go back and look, that we just don't allow roosters, and I think that's where you get a lot of issues. So let us see what we can do, and we'll bring something back in January in a work session.
That'd be great.
Good. Thanks.
Very good. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Who will make sure that they're notified so they could attend?
Well,
We'll make sure that happens before the next meeting when it's scheduled. Yes.
ultimately, I'm not trying to. I know, but just keep an eye on that, okay?
Yeah. But we'll commit to reaching out. We have your.
The intent's not to do this behind your back, so just so you know. All right, number 7, Stacy. I started an hour ago with you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a second, I'll get us. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this all loaded.
Oh, you just need to hide that bottom bar or go up in the upper.
The upper one?
Yeah.
Which one is that? I'm like,
It's the little.
did I hit the?
Well, that's not going to help you. It's this one right here.
It's this one right here.
I know. I'm like, where is that? Sorry. Oh, there it is. Thank you. I'm so glad. I need all the technical help I can get. Okay, so tonight I just thank you for allowing us to present this resolution. I wanted to quickly just give you a quick background on this property that is just south of the SUVPS property. For the past few years, we've had neighbors reaching out to us that live down in the Dry Creek area that we have a trail there that actually goes nowhere. It ends. And they would love to have a connection over to the Kelvin Grove Park. And so one of the things we've been working on, as you know, with the PAR board is improving the Dry Creek Trail. And this opportunity came up with SUVPS that we could acquire the property just north to of their station. We reached out to them, and they were great with the idea of working with us to have that property, and they agreed actually to quitclaim the property to us. It's about 1,300 square feet of trail space that we could put in there. And with that, we would provide them an easement to maintain their fence and along the north side of that station. We've also been working with the irrigation company, the drainage district there, to make sure that they will be able to have access to the property, to the ditch along that area. And so what we're asking tonight is that we to accept or approve an acceptance of the property for a recreational trail north of the current SUVPS station along Dry Creek, and an approval with an access easement to the SUVPS from the city. So, and just something really fun I wanted to show you. This, if we were to acquire this property, we would have a lot of different connections. It would allow us to connect into the current Dry Creek Trail, and I keep pointing to my screen as well, but we would be able to connect into the current Dry Creek Trail, as well as a trail that will go along 1200 West. It'll also be able to have a great connection to 1600 South on both sides of the trail, as well as to Kelvin Park. And so we really believe this is a key connection for the city and for our active transportation plan. Do you have any questions?
Okay, questions for Stacy?
So the Dry Creek Trail basically dead ends at 12th West, and then there's a little trail on 12th West that goes north.
Right.
What about safety and crossing? This illustration you've got up now shows a crossing up north of where the Dry Creek Trail abuts 12th West. Is there a crosswalk there, or is that why you crossed it there? I'm just concerned about pedestrian traffic crossing 12th West.
Right.
To get over to that section. I mean, I'm for this.
There is, right. I was thinking there was one.
Is there?
That's the only crosswalk.
But is it up there where Stacy has this line drawn, or is it down below? Okay. Yeah, so my concern is kind of the same thing, the same issue we had up at the junior high, where people are going to go where it's easiest for them. They're not going to detour around and go around that way. So I'm just concerned about the Dry Creek Trail abutting 12th West and people crossing there instead of going up to the crosswalk. You see what I mean?
Right, right.
So that's my only concern. I mean, I'm fully in favor of this. I'm not trying to nix this in any way. I just want to make sure we've got something in the plan to keep people safe. And I don't know how busy that residential road is over there. What's it called? Marsden Drive or whatever it is.
Right. I can't remember the name of it is either.
I don't know how busy that is, but I mean, that's kind of another issue. And Dry Creek Trail does cross the road a couple of times up in the other neighborhood farther east.
It does. And this is good to point out because 1200 West will become a busier road as 1600 South comes in. And so I think that's something that we need to keep an eye on and make sure that.
So maybe get together with Brad and see if you can.
Just something to look forward to, too. Where you see the substation just immediately west of that, Public Works does have need for infrastructure there. They're working on buying some property. That road will probably be realigned, a few different things. So there's some opportunity to really look at what you're talking about in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that sidewalk at the end of the trail does lead to where the crosswalk is. So like if you're
Right. Yeah, I've been over there several times, quite a few times actually. Surveying that area. The point isn't that it hits the sidewalk and then it hits the sidewalk and then people have to go out of their way to go up to the crosswalk, over and back down. What I'm saying is people are going to hit the end of that trail and just cross right
that's
over,
the easy thing.
because the rest of the trail is just that far across the road. You see what I mean? Instead of detouring up and around. I think that's what we need to consider, because we dealt with this up at the junior high. And I'm not sure that problem's even solved yet.
Good point.
No,
Okay,
that's a great
Stacy,
point.
would you
Thank you.
take that into consideration?
Absolutely.
Okay, other comments for Stacy? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the resolution.
Before we do,
Yep.
serving on the SUVPS board, is there any reason I would need to abstain from this resolution?
No.
Okay. Cool, because I'm excited. Then I will make the motion that we adopt, approve resolution number 2025-42, approving the execution. 4-1. To receive property via a quitclaim from Southern Utah Valley Power Systems, SUVPS, for the purpose of creating a recreational trail connecting Kelvin Grove Park and the Dry Creek Trail, and to approve the execution of an access and maintenance easement to SUVPS.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, a roll call vote. Craig?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Very good, Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.
Okay, Mr. Penrod?
Yes, Mayor and council members, I do apologize that you didn't get a staff report on this item. We got this late last week, and one of the reasons why I'm rushing it on tonight's agenda is because we're dealing with the school district and also with the seminary building at the new high school. They're looking to close on that seminary building, and they need these easements in place. And so let me just get to this.
Who's buying it? Do we know? Is Nebo buying it?
Buying what?
The seminary building?
No. I'm talking about the new seminary building.
Oh.
So they're trying to close.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
the old one. I'm like,
old
what?
versus new. No, we're working for the new seminary.
new
In my mind, it made a lot of sense. And I could see where I confused
Both Jake and I
everybody.
are sweet. They're
Yeah,
finally
no.
selling.
So currently, or actually in the past, this is the old high school location with the picture. You can also see the old racetrack, and so you can kind of see what's going on 2-3 years ago. This purple line is the irrigation that came through the property, and so there's a ditch on this side, or at least a waterway. It comes over, and then there's a ditch here. It gets into the pond, and then it comes out of the pond and goes on down. Also, too, over here, there's water that collects at the bottom of that hill, and it goes north and then west, and then there's always been a pond there. Now there's even a nicer pond and it'll even be nicer once it fills up. And then it comes back into this irrigation line and goes this direction. The problem with this line is that where the pond is here and the tennis courts here, there now sits a building. And so you can kind of see where it goes right through the new high school, and then over here it goes through the high school as well. And so what the school's done is they've rerouted the line to go around the school this way, so it's not hitting the school here, it's not hitting the school here, and it's coming up. Now this is, again, the location, the blue is the location of the new line. This is the seminary property. It does go through the edge, or at least the north edge of the seminary property. And so they're trying to get all that worked out. And so you can kind of see where it touches the seminary property there. And so that's why it came to you in a rush. But basically all you're doing is doing an easement for the new line. I've spoken to our engineer about it. He's fine with the easement, with the location and everything else. It's something they've been talking about with this whole project of where the irrigation needs to go, along with culinary water and sewer and everything else. So, did you have a question?
Yeah, is this an open irrigation or
no? It's all closed. Yeah, so now it's all piped. Before there was, if this purple line, if I come back just, I did it, but this purple line, there was an open ditch along here, and then it came into this location. Over here, it is still kind of open. I mean, it's just, it collects water here and it all funnels this direction. Now, when you come up back here, it's not showing yet, but there is a pond that is built here, and this does get pretty watery up there. And so what the school's done is, as part of building the park that will come to the city when the project is done, is there is a pipe that's perforated, and so it collects the water and it does pull it this way, so more of this land is usable for the park. So any questions? The language, here's the actual, you can see it here, how it gets around everything. But the language is pretty simple language in the easement. It gives the irrigation company the right to put the pipe there, to do maintenance on the pipe when needed. Some of the pipe is buried quite deeply. For instance, if you come up here and look, this is all raised through here, but the line underneath is quite a ways, so they'd have to be boring if they ever really did anything there. But that's just the basics of what's before you tonight. Any questions?
Nope, pretty straightforward.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
I'll motion to approve Resolution 2025-42, approving the execution of an irrigation and land drain pipeline easement from Springville City and the Nebo School District to the Springville Irrigation Company for an irrigation pipeline that runs through the new high school property.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I think we have a reason for a closed session in regard for property, so I need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session for property and adjourn this meeting.
Okay, motion, second?
Second.
Never remember. Is that a roll call vote?
Who got it?
It is. Mindy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Jake got the second. Thank you, everyone.